For years, I painted evil eyes because I wanted to give people a symbol of protection from negative energy. I still understand why people are drawn to them. Deep down, I think we all want to feel safe. We want to know that we are protected, that life is on our side, and that we can move through the world with confidence and peace. Through my own healing journey, I started asking myself a different question. What if one of the greatest forms of protection is not something that we hang on our walls or wear around our necks? What if it comes from healing the stories we carry inside of us? If I believe that other people's jealousy has the power to take away my happiness, my things, how much peace will I ever have? Or if I believe that someone else's negativity has more power than my own faith and my connection with God, how safe will I truly feel inside? What if we have spent so much time trying to protect ourselves from the outside world that we have forgotten to heal what is happening inside of us? Our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions. What starts as a fear can become a belief. A belief becomes an expectation, emotion, an action, and over time, that expectation shapes the way we see ourselves and the world around us. And it made me wonder, what if the greatest protection is not living in fear of what might happen? What if the greatest protection is healing the old fears and stories we've been carrying for years, basically our baggage? In this week's episode 112 of Baggage Begun Healing Hearts and Minds, we are exploring what's more powerful than the evil eye and how the stories that are living in our subconscious mind may shape our relationships, our confidence, health, and happiness. I want to leave you with one simple question. What story are you still carrying that is no longer serving you? What if the biggest thing blocking you is not outside of you? For years, I painted evil eyes because I wanted to give people a symbol of protection from negative energy. Like many people, I also believe that sometimes what was holding us back was outside of us. Other people's jealousy, negativity, bad energy, bad luck, or lack of support. But over time, through my own healing journey, I discovered something surprising. Many people assume the problem is outside of them. They think someone is holding them back. Someone is doing something for them. They think life is against them. They think they have bad luck. They think other people are jealous of them or don't support them. Sometimes those things may be true. But what I have found is that most of the time, the real blockage is an old belief that has been living in the subconscious mind for years. Maybe somewhere along the way you learned that you are not enough and that you cannot trust and you need to control because things will not work out for you. The challenging part is that these beliefs become invisible, meaning they are stored in our subconscious mind, so we don't know that they are happening. We don't walk around thinking these thoughts all day long, right? Yet they quietly influence our choices, relationships, confidence, health, and happiness. In this week's episode, we are talking about what's more powerful than the evil eye and why the stories we carry about ourselves may be shaping our lives more than we realize. As you listen, I invite you to ask yourself, what story am I still carrying that no longer belongs to me? Welcome back to Baggage Begun Healing Hearts and Minds podcast. I'm Tami Mahmali, and today I want to talk about something that has been on my mind lately. For many years, I painted evil eyes. People would buy them for their homes, businesses, and as gifts for loved ones. I don't know if you know, but the evil eye has been part of many cultures for thousands of years and is often used as a symbol of protection from jealousy, negativity, or harmful intentions from others. As I was thinking about this recently, I found myself asking a different question. What if the biggest thing blocking us is not outside of us at all? I will be honest, there was a time in my life when I also thought that the answers were outside of me too. I thought if circumstances changed, if people behaved differently, if only life was easier, then I would feel better. What I eventually discovered through my own healing journey was that some of the biggest obstacles were not outside of me at all. There were old stories, patterns, attachment I had carried since childhood. Stories about belonging, worthiness, trust, and feeling safe. Once I began changing those stories, thoughts, words, actions, my life began changing too. What if the biggest blockage is something happening inside of us? The internal thoughts. As many of you know, I spend my days helping people uncover the subconscious beliefs that are running their lives. Over and over again, I see people who desperately want something. They want a healthy relationship, a successful business, better health, more confidence, or just a peace of mind. Yet, no matter how hard they try, they seem to hit the same wall again and again. Once I worked with a client who kept attracting unavailable partners. She thought she had terrible luck in relationships. But when we went deeper, believe it or not, we discovered a subconscious belief that said, the people I love always leave. So she wasn't consciously choosing unavailable partners. Her subconscious mind was recreating what felt familiar. Because when she was little, when she was younger, her parents got divorced and her dad just left the house. Once we addressed the root of the belief, she began making very different choices. And she felt so much better because she no longer had this old story that people don't want her or they're going to leave her. Many people assume the problem is outside of them. Someone did something to them. They think someone is holding them back. They think life is against them. They think they have bad luck. They think other people are jealous of them or don't support them. Sometimes those things may be true. But what I have found is that most of the time, the real blockage is the way we think, feel, and act. And usually they are the result of old beliefs that have been living in our subconscious mind for years. And the only way to change is to change the story. Maybe you learn that the world is not safe, that you cannot trust anyone, and no matter what you do, it won't work. The interesting thing is that these beliefs are stored in your subconscious mind, so you're not aware of them consciously. We don't wake up in the morning saying those words to ourselves. But those beliefs quietly running our show, they influence our choices, our intentions, thoughts, words, reactions, and as a result, our actions in our relationships, in our business, and our expectations. This reminded me of something that I learned from Joseph Murphy, who wrote the book The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. In his book, he explained that whatever we repeatedly talk about, think about, impress upon our subconscious mind, eventually becomes accepted as truth. This is something that we believe is our story, so we rehearse it, and guess what's happened? We just manifest it. The subconscious mind doesn't argue with us. Our subconscious mind job is to keep us safe. So whatever you say, it believes you. It accepts what we continually feed it. So I encourage you to remember that and feed your mind with positivity. See good, feel good, talk good, think good. Because if you remember that your subconscious mind does not argue with you, it accepts what you repeatedly tell it, then you will think twice before you think negativity. So if you keep telling yourself that you are not enough or other negative information, your subconscious mind begins treating those beliefs as facts. And you're gonna prove yourself that you're not enough. And unfortunately, over time, those thoughts becomes your words, actions, and your expectation from life, from the world, from others. Those expectations influence your choices, and those choices shape your life. So it is not bad luck or evil eye. The good news is that the same mind that learned those beliefs can learn new ones. And I think it's really exciting. And we call it reframing or reprogramming. Next time, when you become aware of your negative thoughts or your old story that you have been rehearsing for years, all the baggage, please challenge it and repeatedly feed your mind a positive, healthier truth. Just reframe it. Maybe say it while you're smiling, so you begin challenging the direction of your life to see what is more possible for you. Think about that for a moment. If someone spends years believing that people are jealous of them or don't want the best for them, they may become suspicious, guarded, and afraid to trust others. They begin expecting negativity and start seeing it everywhere. And guess what's happened to them? They meet those exact people that they are afraid of. And this is not evil eye. We bring it on ourselves. So if people believe that other people's negative energy has power over them, they may begin living in fear of other people instead of feeling confident that they are the director of their own lives. Then they may constantly look for signs that something bad is happening rather than focusing on what is going well and what's more possible. If someone believed that life is unfair, I used to think like this growing up, and that they have bad luck and that's why it's happening, or that things never work out for them, they may stop taking chances, stop believing in themselves, and unknowingly create the very result they fear and they don't want. So reframe. Think before you talk and you take actions. Remember, the intentions are very important behind anything that you do, say, and the actions, because our thoughts create our words and our actions. I encourage you to see the world as a beautiful place, a garden that you can create whatever seeds you want to plant and grow the beautiful trees that are part of you, the gift that you are to the world. This is why I believe many people are fighting the wrong battle. They're trying to protect themselves from what is happening outside of them without realizing that they need to hone within, inside their soul, inside themselves, and take the time, because the real battle might be the old story, the old limiting belief, the baggage that they've been carrying from childhood. They told themselves again and again, and now it's just recycling as a loop and it's not serving you. So I encourage you, if you need to look at that, just start writing down what's the things that not letting you move forward, and just reframe it. And if you need to dive deeper, I would love to meet with you and go through the Baggage Be Gone method to clear this baggage easily and effortlessly, just in few sessions, and it's priceless. I have 30-minute complimentary call. If you like, just call, and I would love to sit with you and talk about that. Now, let's say if we are trying to change our circumstances without changing the old story that we are rehearsing that basically created those circumstances, we are trying to create a different future. But we cannot create something new while we're carrying the same stories in our subconscious mind, that they are old. So that's why I encourage you to clear, let go of the baggage, because this baggage keeping us stuck, keeping us in negativity. If you cannot move forward in your life and you're in a loop, it means you're stuck with your mental and emotional baggage. So today I want to offer you a different perspective. Instead of asking, who is blocking me? Who did this evil eye? Try asking, what belief is blocking me? Or instead of asking, why does this keep happening to me? Ask yourself, what am I expecting to happen? And write it down, because the answers are within you. The answers are inside the question. They are inside you. No one else can give you the answers. You are the only one. Even if we work together, I always let you figure out. Ask God to come and help you. Instead of looking outside yourself first, become curious about what is happening inside you. That's exciting. That's you being reborn. This doesn't mean that the world is pinky and there are elephants and butterflies and that other people don't hurt us. They might do. And this doesn't mean that difficult things don't happen. They do. What it means is that lasting change happens when we stop giving all our power, what happened in the past, to the old stories, to the baggage, and start paying attention to what we believe because of what happened. Then we can create something new because we're letting go all the old. One thing I have learned from working with clients is that knowing the belief, knowing the old stories, what baggage, is not always enough. Many people can tell me exactly what their problem is. They know they're afraid of rejection, let's say. They know they don't feel good enough. They know they keep attracting the same kind of relationship. The challenge is that awareness does not automatically change the programming. Talking about that, it's like going to therapy and rehearsing the story. It's not enough. You want to clear it through subconscious mind reprogramming, through hypnosis and energy work, and that proven to have lasting results. And this is science, this is not me. That's why so many people feel stuck. They understand the problem, they talk about it, they know, they wrote already, they told their therapists for years, but they have not changed the subconscious pattern that's running the show underneath it. That's where the real lasting healing begins. One of the exercises I often give clients is very simple, and I encourage you to try it. When they feel stuck and they cannot move forward, I ask them to write down the area of life that is not working. Then I ask them one question. What would I have to believe for this situation to keep repeating itself? What is the belief? What is the story that you're telling yourself and you're rehearsing that making you stuck? For me, the old story was, I'm not good enough. No one wants me. Everyone gonna leave. And that's what's keeping me stuck because I wasn't trying anything new. I was always scared that people are gonna leave. I was shy. I wasn't speaking up. I was pretending I'm something else. I encourage you not to do that. It's really painful. So once those beliefs come into awareness, write them down. We can begin working with them. We can challenge them. We can reframe them. We can release them. We can replace them with something healthier and more aligned with who you are truly. Now, you cannot always think your way out of your subconscious mind. It takes a few sessions in hypnosis and then you can clear it because you have to dive deeper to the root cause of the problem. This is the work that I do through the Baggage Begun method, and I'm really proud of it, and it's beautiful. If you like to dive deeper, please contact me and I would love to sit with you. We can identify the root experiences and create and reprogram that. Because when people change the subconscious mind beliefs, they often notice that they stop reacting the same way because the triggers disappear, they evaporate, the energy shifts, and they stop repeating the same patterns. And that's really magic. Thank God it's existing, because then you begin making different choices. And you feel lighter because the old programming is no longer shutting you down and sabotaging your process. That doesn't mean life becomes perfect and then you can ride on a pink cloud. It means you're no longer walking around like you have tons of baggage on your shoulders. Now, I want to thank you for being here today and staying until the end. Before we end today's episode, I would like to leave you with a short prayer that I was inspired by Joseph Murphy. I have been rehearsing it for years. Whatever you believe in the evil eye or not, whatever you wear one, hang one in your home, or simply appreciate it as a cultural symbol, I believe the greatest protection comes from the thoughts we allow into our minds, the positive thoughts, and the connection we have with God. So if you're able to take a deep breath, close your eyes for a moment and repeat these words, or just write them down and say them whenever you can. I have them and I put them next to my computer or in my car, because the prayer goes like this. The love of God surrounds me. The peace of God fills me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. And remember, no old story, no fear, no doubt, and no belief from your past is more powerful than the divine presence within you. So this week I invite you to become curious. Where in your life do you feel stuck? What story might be keeping that pattern alive? Just be aware of it. And I invite you to write down, is that story actually true today? You might be surprised. If you're ready to go deeper and uncover and discover more, I would love to guide you. You can schedule a complimentary consultation through the link in the show notes, and together we will be able to explore what may be standing between you and the life you want to create. Because sometimes the biggest thing standing in our way is not the evil eye. It's the story we have been carrying for years without realizing it. And the good news is that story can be changed. That is what Baggage Begun is really about. It's not just about letting go of pain from the past or hurt or trauma. It's about identifying the story that we have been carrying and deciding whatever they still deserve a place in our lives. And I can tell you, it's not worth it. You being free, it's priceless. So whatever you believe in the evil eye or not, I want to leave you with this thought. The most powerful protection you can develop is a healthy mind, a strong sense of self-worth, and an awareness of the beliefs running your life. Because when you change the story in your subconscious mind, you begin changing the direction of your life. I want to thank you again for joining me today. If this episode resonated with you, I would love you to share it with someone who may be feeling stuck or struggling to move forward, and they might need it. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you next week. Remember that you are not your past, you are not your limiting beliefs, and you are capable of creating a new story, a magical story. I will see you next week. If you're curious and want to dive deeper, you are in the right space. I ask you to look within for all the things that you want to do, be, and have. Join me at the Baggage Begun Healing Hearts and Minds podcast with new episodes every Wednesday as we discover the path towards healing and transformation.